What's up, guys? Frugal BC coming at you with a video about Algorand governance. We are entering period 10. You have a couple days, the end of January 15th. I gotta get my dates right here. January 15th to commit to governance. I'm gonna tell you about my experiment with Messina for Algorand Governance 9. Tell you about my current strategy, and we're gonna look at the governance stats. So stay tuned for that. Before we do that, guys, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like and subscribe button. As I always say, you don't have to smash it. You can just press it gently. We do the experiment, we try things out, and we let you know how it goes. And I don't sugarcoat it. If it went well, I tell you it went well. If it didn't, I tell you that too. Sometimes I take a little heat for that, but it is what it is because I want to bring you guys the truth. And with that in mind, please give a shout out to our sponsors, Non-Fungible Domains. I know they got a little heat lately for some of their decisions, but I think they made the right choice and how they chose to address it. And Non-Fungible Domains, they have that .algo address right after your name. It goes in place of your wallet address and just makes it a lot easier to do everything on Algorand. So I really like it for that reason. Check out Non-Fungible Domains in the description below. And we are brought to you by Fractal Monsters, a play-to-earn game on the Algorand blockchain. I like that these guys just keep building this game. They just keep making it better. It's basically a cross between Pokemon and Tamagotchi with a little bit of Smash Brothers thrown in. It's a lot of fun. You can play it for free, or you can buy one of their little critters and open up more features in the game. So check that out in the link below. But let's get to governance. I tried out something different this time. This is actually my second time recording this video. For some reason, the audio was all messed up and I couldn't fix it. So I pretty much made the whole video, edited it, and had to scrap it. So here I am again. But enough about that. Let's get back to this. I tried out Messina and I put in 100 algo. So I want to talk through how that went. Now, if I had extracted the rewards from Messina itself, the platform, it would have been 106 algo, which would have been about 6% for the period and 24% for I think it actually came out to a little bit higher than that for an APY, but I wasn't able to get it to work. And I don't know if I just had to leave it a really long time. It said it would take 6 hours, and I think you actually have to leave your computer running for 6 hours. It was actually making my computer heat up a little bit, and the fan was running and stuff. So they had another option where you could go through Pack5. You don't get quite as much. It would have been a 105 something algo, and I'm sorry I didn't keep track of these exact numbers, and I really wish I would have. I couldn't get that to work either. So I ended up just swapping it through Tinyman, and I only got 104 something. So that was still like 16%. As you'll see though, that's still way higher than going to the other options. One thing I kind of wish they would have done is I wish there was a little button that said when it was okay to stake or okay to unstake without losing your rewards. I think you could kind of figure that out because if you're only getting 100, you put in 100 and you're getting 100 back, it's clearly not ready yet. If you're getting 106, it is, but you kind of wonder. I just think it would have been a good way to make it a little more clear for people. But yeah, what I will say though is apps like Messina or Folks Finance, they make it a lot easier to stake without having to worry about it. You're not going to get the vote, but then you also don't have to vote. And it's much, much more difficult. You really can't accidentally unstake like you can through traditional Algorand governance. So that is a big thing that both Folks Finance and Messina have going for it. A couple little things I'd like to see a little differently on those platforms, particularly Messina. I don't know if I ever tried out Folks. I can't remember now. It's been because I actually haven't participated in governance in a little while. I just don't think it's that worth it. And the rewards are going down and down. But if you go through one of these apps, you can actually do pretty well with it. Well, now I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do this time. And this is where things got a little tricky. Here's governance. I'm going to try to connect my wallet again. Hopefully it works this time. There's a thing where you're supposed to clear your cache. And I learned that after recording the first video. All right, it's working now. Cool. So if you ever get stuck on here, just it's going to ask you which wallet to use. I only had one option. So my commitment is 6,000 algo, but it's not algo. This is algo equivalent LPs, and I staked my US dollar coin algo on here. That's what I used, and it worked pretty well. I think it's going to work pretty well because I'm going to stick with that pool. Now, if I remove that pool, it's not going to work. I'm just going to show you really quick. I can't do it now because I go change. Yeah, okay. So normally you'd have a little button that says commit. because I already have something in there. But then I had to hit the change to add to it. If I wanted to do just straight up algo, I could do that right here. There's a max button. If you do one of the LPs, it's a little confusing because you have to select it. And then what will come up is, in fact, I can show you because I can just, so if I did yieldly algo, which I definitely wouldn't do, you have to know how much you have, and then you have to enter it into this field. So you can't just, it doesn't give you a max button like they do for algo. I'm just going to close that because we're not going to change it. So I'm sticking with it says 6,000 algo, but it's actually the equivalent of USD algo. So that is from TinyMan. I'm gonna have that running on TinyMan, and we'll be making APR from that plus whatever I get from governance. Which, let's go back here. We are on, yeah, we can stick with this one. So regular governance is looking like 3.47, which is not a great deal. That's APR, by the way. So that's like projected throughout the year, whereas the actual period percentage reward is like 0.87. And then it gets a little higher for DeFi, but it's really not much. So I'll be honest, like if I lose it, I'm not gonna lose a lot of sleep over it. The cool thing is you can put your .algo address in here, like from NFD, and you can see your own stats on there. They've only got 21 million. That's quite a bit less than they used to put up. I believe they used to put up like 60 or more. Like I said, it's been a while. And then DeFi, I think DeFi used to be a lot more too. And the numbers, that's more, those numbers so far are actually more than they were last time. Because last time the overall governance was 3, but DeFi was a lot higher. DeFi was 15. You'll probably see the DeFi go up because a lot of people uncommit. So that period, you got less than 1%. So you can see that it's very advantageous to go through Folks Finance or Messina. I would not, they have some, I know Folks has the leveraged option. I would not do that just because I think leveraged is dangerous, and I just don't think it's a great idea. I've heard of people getting liquidated. I just generally, I don't do leverage for anything, no for trades, not for nothing. You're just playing with fire, and you have to really, really know what you're doing. So I wouldn't mess around with that. So that's my take on Algorand governance. You have till January 15th to participate. You will have to vote. That comes up in March. It looks like the voting period, according to their timetable, is the 1st of March to the end of March, which is when the period ends. So they're giving a pretty long voting window, in which you'll see that's typically when people get kicked out of governance. So by participating in this, I will have to vote. I'll have to remember to vote. And so one of the things to keep in mind with that is, if I forget, like I'm not out a whole lot, so I'm not gonna like cry in my sleep. I'm not really counting on it. It's just sort of extra. Yeah, and I kind of miss the days of just straight up staking, because it was a lot easier. You just left your money in your algo in your wallet, and you were making a percentage. And but I understand why they're doing this. I guess it's just not. I just haven't been a big fan of governance. I'm never really that interested in the questions that they have, to be honest. And I also feel like at my level of algo ownership that I don't have a great deal of say anyway. So I think if you're going to do this, I'll be honest, if you just hold algo and you wanted to make a percentage on it, Messina or Folks is probably the way to go. I really think so. If you have a lot of DeFi, if you're in a lot of DeFi like me, then you probably just want to participate through governance, I think. Maybe there's some other options that I'm unaware of, but at least from what I can see, at least Messina, it looks like it's straight up staking, straight up putting your money, straight up algo in. I don't know if they have pools. Maybe they do. Probably check. There it is, but it's going really slow. Yeah, it's just algo. You can just stake algo on it. Like I said, I did that last time. By the way, this is how much time you have left as of this recording. So depending on where in the world you are, you may have more or less time, but more or less than January 15th. But for me, that's actually into January 16th from my perspective. But anyway, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on governance. And like I said, this is the second time I've been uploading this, recording this one. So hopefully it was a little smoother than the last one anyway. And all right, well, thanks so much, you guys. Thanks for watching. I'd love to hear your comments. Leave them down below. And stay safe out there. I'm Frugal BC, and I will see you in the future.